Hey everybody, so today I'm here to talk to you guys all about our spring and summer bucket list. And basically it's going to be things that we want to get accomplished this spring and summer. Now, a few things. I started this a few years ago, basically when I was pregnant with Remy during the summer. It was going to be our last summer with Sophie being our only child, and I just wanted to make sure that we were getting out and doing stuff with her and focusing on her while we still could give our full attention. So it really kind of stemmed from there. And then the year after Remy was a newborn, I just wanted to make sure that Sophie was getting out of the house as much as we could when we could. So I just kept doing it. And then the year after, both the girls were toddlers, and I guess it wasn't really necessarily needed, but I just wanted to look for different things to do. And that kind of leads me to my other point is I have to plan these things out because of where we live. It's a very small town. There's not a whole lot going around us. You know, everything is pretty much a trip. It has to be planned. And a lot of the times, you know, like my mom and my stepdad like to come too. And it just ends up being a little bit of like an affair to go do these things, because I think everything but like maybe one or two things are basically at least an hour away. And you know, that's a trip, especially if you are pregnant or you have a newborn or just even, you know, multiple toddlers. Come on. So a lot of it does take a lot of planning out. Also, some stuff costs money, other things don't. So especially when you count in expenses, you know, like maybe you're going to be eating out, all that stuff has to be planned for. At least it does for our family. So I do have a list here. It's not in any particular order, but I'm just going to kind of read them off. And it was basically just how things came to me. The first one being the park. I know we're going to go there a ton. We did last summer and the girls loved it. And now that they're both old enough, like Remy's 2, Sophie's 3.5, I know that they're going to love it even more. Like they'll be able to utilize a lot of the playground, not just some of it. And I know that I've mentioned this playground before in previous videos, but it was probably just in chit chats. So you might not all know, but the park is still about 45 minutes to an hour away from us, give or take traffic. So it still is a little bit of a trip, but when we go, we plan a lunch. Like we're there for like 4 or 5 hours. So, you know, if it's going to be a park day, it's going to be a park day. The playground that we love and we prefer, it has this huge playground, you know, all wooden, and, you know, it's huge, it's spacious, but it is a lot more for older kids. So we tend to go over to their toddler area, which is an entirely separate playground, but not, it's just like the tiniest walk away. It's just more toddler friendly. So we love that park. And like I said, if we go, we make it an all day affair. The kids love it. It wears them out. And so that's why we love it. The next thing is something that we haven't done, but honestly, it was just because I didn't think about it until Mark had mentioned it to me. Where we live, there is a bike trail. It goes through several different towns, so it's really cool in that way. You could go a huge distance if you want to, but a lot of people just go to their nearest entrance, walk for a little bit, and then go back to their cars. So I want to try that out with the girls. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do because we don't have a bike. None of us have bikes actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but I was thinking even if it's in one of our strollers or something, Mark and I can walk, you know, the girls can get out and walk. And it's just kind of something I never thought about, but he mentioned it and he was like, we should definitely like do that now that both the kids like love to like get out and run and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So we are definitely going to check out the bike trail. I don't know how far we'll go or what we'll really do on it, but definitely going to check it out. Next up is pretty simple, but the kids absolutely love it, and that is going outside every day when we can, of course, weather permitting, because we do have a roofed off deck, and it's pretty sizable. It's really nice. The kids have definitely a lot of room to play and stuff, but the weather can still get inside. So if it's raining or something, we can't be outside, but the kids actually got a lot more outdoor toys. We already had a picnic table, a swing, a little Tykes car. We have a wagon to go on walks with and stuff. We don't really use that much on the deck or anything. But the girls also got a playhouse. Well, Remy got it for her birthday, but they both play in it. They also got a pool, so we are going to get a tarp, and we'll just put that on the deck on the days that they want to play in the pool, because it's not like super huge or anything. They also got a brand new water table, and I'm just really excited because they like being outside, and because of this deck, it makes it super simple that we can just be out there and hang out there. They also have a picnic table, so a lot of times we'll eat lunch and stuff, or dinner, whatever time we're out there for, and it's just really nice. It's nice to be outside, just kind of let them roam, and it's just perfect now because They're both to the age where they know they have to stay on the deck. They can't get off the deck without mommy or daddy, so they know that and they abide by that rule, so that's really nice. Next up is something that I look most forward to because it was something I loved doing as a kid, and that is going to the 3 different science kids museums that we love. There is one that's about 45 minutes away from us. There is another that's about an hour, and then the other one is about an hour as well. They're all different in what they kind of offer, honestly. The one is more toddler based, I would say. It's definitely doesn't have a lot for older kids, but it's going to be just fine for our kids and their ages right now. It's not huge, there's not a ton to do, so that's something we might do just for like a little bit of an afternoon trip. But the other ones are like so thorough, we could spend an entire day there. The one has a dinosaur exhibit and like fossils, live animals and stuff, and the other one has like pretend play and a lot of different stuff I've never seen before. We do a lot at kids science museums. I just feel like it allows them to be hands-on and play and get out a lot of energy without necessarily having to go to the park with sunscreen and all that good stuff. It's a nice little change up, I feel like. And like I said, science museums were personally my favorite as a kid. I just loved them. So I love taking my kids, I love walking through them, and like I said, each of them are so unique that I feel like the girls get something different out of each one of them, and that's why we love all 3. Something we'll probably only end up doing a couple times because 1, it's so far away, and number 2, it just can be costly, but it's this play place. We actually took Sophie there for her 3rd birthday, and it was amazing. Remy hasn't been there yet. I believe it was close to an hour and a half away. So like I said, definitely a trip, but it's well worth it. They just have this huge, huge place that is just, I don't even know how to describe it other than a play place. There's like a little bit of a basketball area. They have this projector that projects on the floor in this little kind of area, and the kids have to use their feet to play different games. That's really cool. They have this little dance room that has a disco ball and lights, and it's just playing kiddie music, and the kids love it. They have a whole bunch of activities going on there as well, like they'll have different characters or different kind of, you know, interactive kind of activities for the kids to do, but we've only gone there when it's just been a play place. And the restaurant is phenomenal. Like, they have an attached little restaurant, and we ate there with Sophie on her birthday, and it was so good. But like I said, you have to pay to get in. You have to obviously pay if you're gonna stay a while and eat and stuff like that. So, and with the distance, I don't think it's gonna be something we do a lot. I think if we lived closer, we would definitely be there and just buy a membership, because it was a blast for Sophie. It really was. And it's kind of like an in-between between the science museum and the playground, because they can be really hands-on with different stuff, but at the same time they can be rough and play and go down slides and all this crazy stuff, but you're also inside, so that's kind of nice too. So again, like I said, it's one of our favorites, but probably only a couple times. Next up is something I wanted to do last year, but we never got to it, and that was one of the older parks that we went to. It was something that didn't really offer a lot. It was really nice. It was like completely brand new when we went, and it had a lot of interesting stuff, but it just didn't have a lot for the kids to play on. It had stuff to play with, but it was out in the open, just, you know, kind of like a playground, but it didn't have a lot of things to climb on or, you know, playhouses or anything. So it just kind of felt a little weird. Like, none of us really knew what to do. Nobody really stayed for long, I guess I should say. But with that, they added last year a splash pad. So it's going to be free because that park is free, and everything that I've mentioned so far, besides the science museums and the play place, are all free. But the splash pad's going to be free too, and the girls have never really experienced that, so I'm really interested to take them and just kind of let them have at it one day. And that one's a little farther away. I think that one's closer to like an hour, so I don't know that we'll go there a ton, but I definitely wanted to try it out and see how they liked playing with a splash pad. Next up is something we'll only do once, maybe twice, and that's go to the zoo slash aquarium. Basically, the zoo has an aquarium. It's not huge, but it's a lot better than some of the other ones around us. And we went here one time, I think it was 2 years ago now. That's crazy to think, because Remy was a newborn. But Sophie loved it. She loves animals. I feel like she loves them even more now, and so does Remy. So I feel like they would appreciate the zoo a lot more than what they did when they were younger. I mean, obviously Remy was a newborn. She didn't care where we were. But I feel like they'll definitely get a kick out of it. And Sophie has become obsessed with finding Dory, so I think she'll really like the aquarium too. So I'm just really like excited to take them there because it was an interesting experience. It wasn't the best for me because we had a crappy stroller and I was hot. I was like newly postpartum and we had a toddler and a newborn and it was just kind of stressful. And I was also exclusively pumping. But this time around, I'm not going to be pumping. Everything's going to be chill. We got an excellent stroller, so I'm really excited. And just because it is farther, I believe that one's close to like an hour, hour and 15 minutes. We'll probably only go once, maybe twice. It's also just hard because I feel like you need to go when the weather's nice enough to obviously be at the zoo, but the animals will also be out. If it's too hot, a lot of the animals won't come out, so we didn't get to see a whole lot. But we might like go pretty soon, like while the weather's still kind of colder but nice out, and then maybe once, you know, when the temperature starts to cool off again. The girls will also spend plenty of time with their grandpa and grandma, who during the summer months, my grandparents have a fifth wheel that they have permanently out at this kind of camp. It is a camp for people to like come and go, but there are places for people to be stationary in. So they have a fifth wheel out there and they just kind of have this own little community, and there's people who camp, they do hay rides, there's a pool for the kids, there's a whole bunch of different stuff. But I know I went camping a few different times with my mom and dad, and we had friends who also did what my grandparents did, and it was always fun to be out there. It was always just super fun as a kid. I don't know, it felt like you had a house, but it was like a mini house and you could be in and out and you could stay up late, and I don't know, camping was just always a really great experience for me. And my grandparents love having the girls, so I want to make sure that they're spending the night over there because they also love being out there at the camp. I really want them to have that experience because I remember those times and it was some of the best kind of like vacations that I had as a kid. So definitely want to make sure the girls are getting that. And then the last thing is something that I'm not sure if we're going to do. I want to look more into, but I'm still kind of hesitant because I'm not really sure about it. But apparently there's a little kiddie amusement park around me, and by around me I think it might be between an hour and a half away. I'm not really sure, can't remember. But basically it's like an amusement park, but all the rides are geared towards toddler to like 7-8-year-olds. So it's a very kiddie kind of amusement park, but that's kind of the point. And I believe it's just like you pay just a flat rate fee to get in. It's not like you have to pay for every ride or anything, but I want to look into it. I think I looked into it last summer, but I didn't know how it would work with Remy only being 1 and Sophie being 2. So I'm going to look into that. I'm not sure if we'll do it, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But that is everything. And I know it's probably a little bit of a long list, but honestly, like I said, I like to make a big one so I can stretch it over this, you know, 4, 5, 6 month period, whatever we're going to be graced with, and be able to stretch out some activities for the kids. Like I said, leave down in the comments if I missed any because I would love to hear your recommendations or what your favorite thing to do during the spring and summer with your kids is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.